I tell people because I do think black privilege is real. I think black privilege is like a thing. Like, let me explain that before you like go to brunch next week and you're like, no, a black girl told me black privilege is real. Like, no, let me explain. Like I think black privilege is a real thing because I made a list of all the black privileges. I made a list. Number 1. I can play music in public from my speakers and no one will stop me. Never. On a bus, on a train, it doesn't matter. On a Spirit airplane. That's number 1. Number 2, this one's a little like, but I can yell at the movies. I can yell at the movies. And I know you're like, that's a stereotype that white people made about black people, and that's true. It is a stereotype. But we were like, I'll take it. Because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. Actually, earlier today, I was at a cat screening. It was like a rowdy cat screening. Where you were allowed to like purr at the screen and yell at the screen. Weird white people shit, you know, they were just like engaging with the screen. They had to have this specialized time. There was a guy behind me who was like practicing his like yelling at the screen voice. He's this white guy, so he had to practice. It wasn't just like inherent in his soul. You know? Me, I go to the movies, I'm ready. When I saw Get Out, I actually, I brought a steak into the theater. I wrapped it in foil like a burrito, and I put it in the bottom of my book bag, and I brought it in with a side of au jus sauce. And when the movie started, I obviously pulled my meal out. I started to get ready to eat, and I hear this old white man in the front, and he's like sniffing. He's like, and he goes, "It smells like meat in here." And I just like, I gathered the voice of my ancestors and I just went, "Yeah, it does." And he just got up and looked at me and was like, "Ma'am, I am so sorry. I'm gonna get out. This is your movie. And enjoy your dinner, ma'am. I'm so sorry." And he just left. So that's a privilege. Number 3 on the list, you're gonna have to go on a little journey with me, okay? Are you guys familiar with R. Kelly? Like the singer Robert Sylvester Kelly? I Believe I Can Fly, yes, okay. You know, I'm from Chicago, so like in Chicago, R. Kelly is a course they teach in schools. We know everything about R. Kelly in Chicago, and I feel like as I travel, I realize people don't know much about him. Like, he's in jail right now. He's in jail. Yeah, he is. There was a whole like 9-hour documentary about the many reasons he is in jail. So many reasons, you know. And like, he's in jail for good reasons. You know, for 30 years they found out. For 30 years he was trafficking underage girls across state lines to get around sex age laws, you know. He was selling girls. He was talking to underage girls. He was doing all this horrible, horrible stuff, you know. Like, he is currently facing 30 charges across 5 different states. He is currently facing federal RICO charges. RICO charges are what they give to gangsters. Like Al Capone went to jail on RICO charges. But here's the thing I don't know if you know about R. Kelly. Did you know that he can't read? Did you know that he's illiterate? And that's not a joke. Like, his own lawyer said, R. Kelly appreciates the letters from all of his fans during this difficult time. But he cannot read them. So because Al Capone, at the height of his criminal career, which lasted 8 years, as far as I know, he could read. But R. Kelly, 30 years he managed to run this criminal sex ring dynasty, 30 years. And most of it relied on the technology of talk to text. And it's like, I know what you're probably thinking. It's not okay to make fun of illiteracy, even if it's R. Kelly. Even if it's R. Kelly. But here's the thing, I believe in literacy, it's important. My own grandmother, she didn't learn to read until she was 80 years old. Yeah, that's important. It's important to learn to read. And no one has had more chances, opportunity, or time to learn than fucking R. Kelly. Okay, no one has had more time to learn to read than fucking R. Kelly. I mean, first of all, my 80-year-old grandmother, she didn't spend nearly as much time outside of high schools. Still learned to read. It's just, I have to count that as a black privilege. Because, what if I told you Jeffrey Epstein, he ran this criminal sex ring, he was hanging out with, princes and presidents, and the whole time he couldn't read or kill himself. But R. Kelly did it for 30 years. That's a black privilege. That was third on the list. That actually is the whole list. That actually is the whole thing. We have a ways to go as black people.